TMWA is available. Our customer service is available 24 hours a day, whether it's in our call center, if it's in our lobby, if it's in after hours dispatch. There's always someone available to help the customers. We want to make sure that we meet customers' needs, and we know that the water runs 24 hours. We need to have someone available to help out and do the job correctly. If there's an emergency, anytime after hours calls can be made, and we can get a crew out if need be.
We have a highly skilled staff, whether it's our treatment operators, our field crews, or fixing leaks, our mechanics and such out in the field, repairing pump stations, wells, our customer service staff, whether it be in the office or out in the field, reading the meters, making sure we get the proper information in there, ensuring proper billing, and ensuring that the customers get everything that they deserve.
I think it starts with planning, making sure we're prepared for the future, and the most important part of that is making sure we're hiring, training, and retaining highly motivated individuals to work at home.
I believe fully it's about our people, or at least it starts with our people. We hire the best, the brightest, the most passionate, and it's through their work that we're able to deliver high quality.
Keeping our technology infrastructure available, data and information being at the tip of their hands, so a lot of data-driven business decisions can be made a lot faster. Another pillar of our strategic plan, of course, is cybersecurity and doing a lot of things in terms of employee education and employee training, making sure that staff has the right skills necessary to keep us protected and working.
To me, TMWA provides high quality service 24/7, 365 through strategic planning. So we try to foresee events that might cause us issues, cause us disruptions in service, anything like that, and plan for those, or have contingency plans in place for those things. Because ultimately, that's the bottom line. We've got to deliver high quality water to our customers 24/7. And there's a lot that goes into that, obviously. And so it's really a matter of keeping the water flowing.
We recently just redid our customer information systems. We went live in March of 21. It took about a year and a half to develop all the right processes and make sure that we were getting it right. We redid everything. We redid our CIS, we did our payment portal, we did all the payment processing. Everything was redone so we can be more efficient for the community.
Yeah, you take our fleet, for example. We have a large and growing fleet, and we're trying to figure out the best way to maintain that fleet, and we take a look at different shops. We spread the work around so that we're not all tied into one shop, and they get bogged down. We're assured that we have different people that can handle the maintenance expediently.
And I'll use the latest example of a new CIS system. We went through quite the process to select a piece of software that really mirrors our business processes, that's going to increase customer engagement and increase business processing efficiency.
So I'm looking for ways to continue to run the operations of the company in the most efficient way possible, whether that's developing a new process, whether that's researching a new technology, whether that's bringing in a team of employees from different departments to walk through and document a process and then look for ways to improve that process and brainstorm. I think that's one thing that TMWA does really well is collaboration and getting people together in a room to talk through a problem or an improvement, an opportunity, and from the finance side, what that does is it ensures that we are keeping our rates as low as we can for our customers.
Employees are always encouraged to try other things. There's many departments in TMWA, and you're able to move around. When there's a job opening and there's an opportunity, you should really take it and try to better yourself throughout the whole company.
We want our employees to grow. We want our employees to be the most highly skilled, dedicated staff we have. So we don't skimp on training. We don't skimp on tools. If we need a tool to get the job done, we're going to buy a tool to get the job done every time.
We have quite a few standard trainings. I mentioned cybersecurity. We invest in some of the best training that's available for staff. I have an open communication with staff, and I want to know, it's the strength and weakness question. Where are some areas that we can improve on, and we will work together to find different training options to try to close that gap. Maybe somebody wants to skill up in a different programming language or different type of statistical analysis, and we will support those endeavors.
So TMWA supervisors and directors, managers are always encouraged to find ways to train their employees, not just in educational realm of providing conferences and events like that, but also real world training where they're actually working side by side with individuals that are experienced in their roles and actually taking on a project from start to finish.
We are 100% committed to employee development. We offer 5 credentialed apprenticeship programs. Those are formalized programs that give individuals a career path and an opportunity to become the best and the brightest in the field. We also offer tons of avenues to different training resources. We participate in subscription services that make training available at any time on the internet to employees on hundreds of different topics. It could be topics related to safety, it could be water specific topics, it could be topics that might help with personal growth and development so that an employee can in turn be better at the technical aspects of their job.
So I think TMWA provides the tools and the environment to foster growth. And obviously it's going to be department specific, but I think as a management team, as a company, what we're going to look at is how do we maintain the best workforce possible, and training, whether that's training internally, whether that's any external training that might be available, documentation. We're going to look at ways that we can make sure our staff is adequately trained to continue to do the job that we need to have done in the best way possible. And that really benefits everybody, because if our employees and our staff is trained and they're continuing to progress in their careers, that's good for them, and that's good for TMWA, and then ultimately it's good for our customer.
We're fortunate. I mean, this started long before TMWA was around. This started back with Sierra Pacific Days, in looking at our water resources, looking at the needs of the future, and we've just continued that. While, whether it be the TROA implementation, the work that we did on that to ensure that we have the best storage available for drought protection, best use of the river, best use of the resources. And even now we're looking at what we're going to take to recycle water, and how can we benefit from that? How can the community benefit from that?
Well, again, our role in this organization is a supporting role, and we support both of those plans by data, particularly the infrastructure facility plan. We are basically building a digital twin of our distribution system in the GIS. And so engineers can model that real time, and they are able to make system planning adjustments on the fly just by having that data available to them.
I mean, the thing that has struck me since I've come to TMWA when it comes to planning for water resources and facilities is how far out we look, and we sort of need to. But I mean, we're not looking out the next couple of years. We're looking out 20, 30 years. And that comes back to our water resource plan and our facility plan. And really that's what we need to do, because from a financial perspective, we need to know what's out there. We need to know if we need to build 10 more pump stations in the next 10 years, or is it 10 more in the next 3 years? And we've got to stay ahead of that from a facility standpoint so that we can deliver the water to our customers, that we can maintain the facilities we have, and that we can afford to do all that through our financial, really through our financial structure, and that's rates, that's debt, that's whatever is required for us in order to do that. And then obviously on the resources side, we have to make sure that we have adequate resources to continue to serve the community, and that could be in good times and bad. So that drought modeling or not, how are we going to be able to continue to deliver water and do it effectively and efficiently?
For me, I'm customer service, so I like to, do what I can to save money for the customers. Right now, we're in a campaign to drive paperless billing, and sometimes it can be painful for customers to go paperless, but in the long run, it is saving a huge amount of money for our customers. We're passing that savings on. We're trying to keep rates low and keep it affordable.
We keep a minimal staff. I mean, we don't, for the number of customers that we have, we truly have a minimal staff. We don't staff up at all. We're not afraid to pay overtime. In that way, when things slow down, we don't have to worry about laying people off, or we don't have to worry about being overstaffed. And in doing so, we really keep the cost down for the customers.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind is that we strive to operate like a business, which means that we have the ability to be agile based on the circumstances and the situation. We're not mired in government bureaucracy, and we're able to look at each situation as it happens and manage that situation. And I think the ability to be agile like that helps ensure that we're able to continue to provide efficient, cost-effective service.
So one of the things TMWA does to provide high quality water in the most efficient way possible is each department, while they're focused on finding the best solution to the problem, they're also focused on making sure it's the most efficient solution to the problem, because we all have in the back of our minds the reality that our decisions affect customer rates, and we're trying to keep those rates as low as possible and provide water as efficiently as possible.
I think it comes down to planning, forecasting, and modeling. And specifically for TMWA finance, every year we update a 5-year funding plan or a 5-year forecast. And so what that does is it allows us as a company to make decisions today based on what we think the next 5 years is going to look like. And that includes water sales to customers, that includes capital that we think we need to spend, operating expenses. And we look at all those things in what the needs are, and then are we adequately funded to do that?
Well, I'll go back to processes. We're monitoring our processes, and if there are opportunities for efficiency, we're going to take advantage of those. We are, I believe, a very nimble organization that can take advantage of new technologies, as long as they're a clear return on investment, whether that's cost, whether that's process efficiency increases, and what have you.
Well, I think that our security team here is incredible. I think that we have, we have locked gates. We can go behind the gates every day. We have to badge in. We know that people are badging in.
In this day and age, I guess, security is of paramount importance. I mean, we are a water utility. Homeland Security has identified us as, we're a key component of the infrastructure of a community. Without us, there's no water. And, without water, it's not only your house, it's not only that convenience, there's fire protection. It's, there's many things that, the community needs water for. So we've spent a lot of money on the security of our facilities and the security of our employees.
That's a good question, and the answer really is an empowerment. We empower each and every employee. Training is the base. Every employee is provided the training that they need that's specific to their job, as well as general awareness type of training. But we empower individuals to speak up and to let us know about things that don't seem right or provide suggestions or input. We're constantly evolving the personal protective equipment that we provide to employees. We customize it. Each employee might have different needs, and we make that available. We have training or safety cabinets where individuals can go up and they can select what personal protective equipment they need for the job that they're doing, no questions asked. And I think that by empowering individuals and encouraging individuals to not only speak up for themselves, but to speak up for those that they're in the trenches with or those that they're in the field with, we got each other's back. And I think that makes a difference, and you see it. We have great safety numbers when no organization is without accident, but when you compare our statistics against other similar industries, we are far superior as far as our results, and I believe it's because we are empowered and we do have each other's back out there.
Cybersecurity, obviously threat actors and cybersecurity risks are increasing every day. And so go back again to the training and some of the other third-party resources that we have been able to bring on to help us monitor the internet and network traffic that needs to be monitored in order to make sure that we don't have any bad actors on our network.
Well, I think we do safety trainings. I think they're monthly, and so Kevin Compel's always looking at the things that we as a workforce should be considering, whether that's at work or even in our personal lives. And we train on those things. We want to make sure that we are being safe, not just at work but at home. I take away always the ladder training. I think when I'm putting Christmas lights at home, I think about the things I learned in Kevin's ladder training. And then, I think safety is on the minds of our employees and management. A couple of years ago, we spent a fair bit of money to harden the front of the lobby at TMWA. So we put a bulletproof glass for the CSRs who are in the lobby exposed to the public, just in case. Obviously, you never hope something bad would happen, but that was something that we felt was a risk, and we wanted to make our employees feel comfortable up there, and so we did that. And I think that's always something that's on the minds of TMWA employees.
We do a lot of public outreach. We are constantly communicating with our customers so that they understand that what's going on at TMWA, how we're the water's good, the payment processing, the paperless billing, the how to make a payment. From everything that we touch is at public outreach. We let the public know exactly what we're doing all the time, so we're pretty transparent. We don't try to hide things from the public. We're definitely out there.
Well, you got to keep the community involved. I mean, we know what's going on. The community doesn't know what's going on. It's hard to understand a jewel. It's hard to understand components of electricity. It's hard to understand, you know, what a therm is for gas, but everybody knows what a gallon is. So in their mind, it's easy. Everybody knows, oh, it's easy. There's gallons. I have a gallon jug, you know, a milk jug. You know, they know that component, and so because they know that component, they have much stronger opinions on what's true and what's not about water. And it's our job to ensure, whether it's through our bill stuffers, whether it's through stakeholder meetings, it's our job to ensure the public get the right message about the water.
Well, there's no person behind the curtain, if you will. I think that we strive to be transparent in everything that we do. We're an open book. From a management perspective, we have an open door policy. We welcome and encourage people to come forward, not just with ideas or suggestions, but also with concerns and questions. Our employees are our biggest advocates when it comes to helping the general community understand the what and the why of some of our projects or the things that we're doing. And so by making sure that employees are involved and we're communicating with employees, it's just another avenue that makes its way down to the customers.
I think communication is something that in any organization needs to be at the forefront of everything you do. And I think communication with employees is critically important so that everybody at the company at TMWA is sort of speaking the same language and has the same understanding of what's going on. We do all employee meetings at TMWA, and we do those quarterly, and I think that's a good way for management or departments to share something across the entire company as to what's going on. Those meetings are pretty informal, and it's also a time for employees to ask questions of management or of other departments at TMWA. And so I think that's a really nice thing that TMWA does for employees.
I think this is an area where TMWA exceeds expectations, through board meetings, through SAC meetings, a lot of different public outreach events. I was certainly involved in public outreach involving the Mount Rose treatment plant, participating in different regional planning events and having a presence there, and just trying to communicate where the community stands in terms of water resources. Again, I think TMWA does an excellent job of using all types and channels of communication to get that word out.
So TMWA on a daily basis communicates with the community, whether it's our field crews, like our inspectors that are out talking with homeowners and businesses about how to minimize outages and helping them plan around those outages, or whether it's our natural resources department working with community stakeholders on helping to solve important water resource issues both now and in the future. So one of the ways TMWA goes about doing that is making sure all of our employees in every department is somewhat aware of what other departments are doing, so that when they're out in the community, whether it's a backyard barbecue or whether it's in front of the community leaders and stakeholders, they're able to communicate and explain what TMWA is doing, planning for the future of water resources in